I meant to say we're done with this bit. Okay, we haven't deployed it on AWS, obviously, but we'll do that. But yeah, we're done with our signaling server. Now let's create a couple of clients. Okay. Now, so let's create a new file. We'll call it opera.py. Okay. We'll have another one as well. We'll call it answer.py. Okay. So essentially, we're going to create two clients or two peers. One is going to create an offer. Okay. And the other one is going to receive the offer and create the answer. Okay. You can combine them, but I like to keep them separate just because. And also I already have this code here, so I'm just gonna copy it. So first we're gonna need a library. It's called WebRTC, and we can just Google it. And what it does, it just allows you to do WebRTC in Python. Okay, it's a very nice library created by who is it created by? Oh, I think it's just created by these guys. Okay, and all we are interested in this one command. Okay, pip install AIORTC. So I'm gonna copy it. Once again, go back to my terminal, paste it, install it. Now, if you're not using Anaconda, you might have some issues with this. I tried to do it on Windows. It didn't work. Eventually it did, but it gave me issues. Yeah, but with Anaconda, yeah, it just works straight away. So yeah, so let it install, and once it's done, then we'll no longer have this error. I'm just gonna run it just to see that error. See, it's not found. Okay, there we go. So it worked without any problem. Now, if I run it, it works. There's no error. Okay, so we've got the library that we wanted. We'll need JSON. Sure. We also need async IO and requests. Again, all of these guys should be already built in. I think request is not. Let me see. Yeah, request is not. So we'll need to install it. Let's go. Hit install request. Done. It's so freaking easy. There you go. Okay. Now, eventually we're gonna use our own turn server. Okay, but for now, we're gonna just use a stun server, which is free. Okay, and we'll go in more details what stun and turn servers are. But as I mentioned before, we don't need it if we're gonna work on local machines, okay, or local network. So I can have another machine connected to the same Wi-Fi network, and it will still work. So this is only needed if you want to do it across the internet, which we do, but eventually. Okay, cool. So to make it easier, we're just gonna miss all this bit. Okay, so we're just gonna copy from here. So as we can see, we got to create a new peer connection with the config. So we're not going to worry about config. Okay. There you go. So we create a peer connection using this library. Okay, this function here or this class here. We create a new instance of this class, peer connection. Okay, let's see. So what's happening here? Actually, it's asking for the signaling server, so we do need that. Let me just copy this bit. Okay. Should I put it on top? I think that's put it on top. There you go. So this is going to be the URL for our Signal server, but ours is not this, is it? No, ours is localhost 6969. Okay, there you go. Anything else? Post. Why are you giving me issues with post? Yeah, okay, here we go. ID. Okay. Now I've also created a new another variable here called ID. This is again just to, you know, yeah, you don't have to do this. This is just we know who is talking to who. Okay. So create a new variable, a string called ID. Alright, there we go. So what is async IO? Now async IO is again allows you to do stuff asynchronously, and if you don't know what that is, yeah, you're gonna have issues. So Google it, read on it. Okay, cool. So what is happening here? So essentially we're going to start a function asynchronously. The function is called main. So let's look at that. So it's a main function. Inside main functions we have functions inside functions. Ooh, what's that? Don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry about it. Anyways, so the imported bit is this one here. Okay. Now, when this function runs, it's going to do first thing is it's going to create a new channel, and it's going to call that channel chat, and it's going to be a data channel. Okay, so there are three options. It can do okay, so WebRTC. Let's put it on top here somewhere. So WebRTC can do data channel, okay, video channel, okay, and audio channel. We're gonna do data connection or data channel first of all. Okay, so there we go. So first line that runs is this one here. So it creates a new data channel. You can name it whatever. We call it chat. Now then there are a couple of events on that channel. So when that channel opens, this is what's gonna happen. So we're going to print something, and then we're going to send hello. Okay, we're gonna say hello from offer via data channel. So this, once the channel is open, we can send messages directly, and this message will be the first one to be sent directly via the data channel. Okay, the other one is the other event is called message. So if we receive a message from another client, we're going to just print it here. Okay, now, so first thing we need to do after getting the data channel, we need to create an offer. Okay, so if we refer back to our notepad here, so client 1 creates an offer, sends it to the Signal server. Once again, this is all being done through this library, so we don't have to do much. So over here, we're going to create a new offer, and that's how you create it. Okay, so you create a new offer, and then you do set local description. So what I should do, maybe elaborate a little bit here. Let's do it here. Okay. So we're gonna do set local description. So these are the sub step, I guess. Okay. So as you can see here, we call this function create offer, and then we call this function here set local description, and that offer that we just created, okay, what does it mean? Well, it creates basically this thing, okay, which is called the SDP. The SDP is what we exchange between the peers. Okay, so when we say client 1 sends the offer, what it means, it's actually sending the SDP, which has a type as well, type offer. You'll see that in the detail. Just give me a second. Okay, we'll just go through this quickly. All right, so we create the offer, then we create a new message, which is just a JSON object. It's got an ID, it's got STP, it's got the type. The ID is just coming from the variable we got here. Type is going to be either offer or answer. So we'll get it from here, and then the STP. Then we're just going to take this object and we're going to send it to our signaling server. Okay, so we're going to create the offer, send it to the signaling server, and then we'll just wait for someone to accept that offer and send us an answer back. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to call the signaling server again and ask it if it's got an answer. Okay, if it's got an answer, then I'll do this bit here. If it doesn't have an answer, I'll just print there's no answer, and we'll just wait for 1 second and then do the whole thing again. So this is called polling. Okay, so we're going to poll the server until we get what we want, right? Yeah, so let's run it. It will make things clear once we run it. Okay, so how are we gonna run it? Well, what I want to do is create 2 instances of Visual Studio. That would make it very easy actually if I can do that. So let me see if I just type code. Okay, I think I've got it. Alright, so you just open another instance of Visual Studio. Okay. Alright, do it from here. Okay. Then you go add folder to workspace, and then do it this way. Okay, there we go. So now we have it. So we're going to open. Alright, there we go. Okay, so now we have 2 instances of Visual Studio and we can run them both simultaneously. Okay, so let's run signaling here, and we're gonna do it with some breakpoints in so we can see what's happening. Okay, so let's do this. Now I'm gonna run it. Okay, so it's running over here. Okay, now let's go into the second instance, and here we're gonna start the offering thing. Okay, so let's put some breakpoints here. So the thing is going to start right here. So let's just put a breakpoint here, and then we can step through it. I'm gonna put one here, and then one here. Why not? Let's start, and let's start it. Okay, so now we're going to create the channel. So I'm going to step through each line so we can see what's happening. Okay, and then this one here. Now, so it has created an offer and it has set the local description, and we can go and have a look. So as you can see, inside this local description variable, we have the STP. This is what we need to send to client B or client 2. Okay, the type is just offer. Okay, so we created a new JSON object. Okay, we pass the ID as well, and then STP and type, and then now we're going to send it. So let's send it, and hopefully this should come through here. Okay, well it did not. What the hell? Let's see. Okay, I think I know what's happening. So we need to okay, so because we are actually posting a request here, and then we're getting the request here, yeah, right? So it's actually, it might be the reason that we haven't told these functions that this is a post method. So okay, how do you do this? Let's have a look at Flask. What are you doing? Go away. Okay, Flask. How do you do post? Post. Come on. Let's Google it. Flask post. So how do I post? Really? Okay. there we go. This is what we need. So go to signaling, and over here I'm gonna say this is a post method. Okay, so offer is a post method, and answer is also post method, but then get offer is going to be a get method, and then get answer is also a get method. And hopefully this should fix our problem. Let's say start it. Okay, now once again go to the offer, run it. Let's keep going. There you go. Alright, so now in signaling server we can see we just received something. So let's see what we just got. So we got a form, and that form's got the same things that we just put in: the ID, the type, and the STP. Okay, so we're gonna take this object and then save it under offer. Okay, and that's it. It's done. Now as you can see, our offer is now going to go to the next line, and now it's going to ask for an answer. Okay, alright, so it asks the server for an answer, and the server says, well, I haven't got any. So it goes back, prints not ready, and goes to sleep for 1 second, and then do the whole thing again. Okay, so it's gonna keep doing this. Alright, so now we can stop it because we got an idea what it's gonna do. Okay, now we go to client B or client 2. Okay. Client 2. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make the sub steps. I'm gonna create step 1 here. I think this is gonna be probably step 2, because step 1 was create offer. Okay, so here as you can see, first it runs this bit, which is create offer, and then it runs this bit. Okay, now let's go to the answer. Stop it, and somewhere, I'm not sure where. Let me bring it out. Yes, over here. And there we go. Alright, so this is the code for answer. Okay, once again I'm just gonna copy paste the whole thing, but then I don't need few bits just yet, so I'm just gonna remove them, so we don't need these. Okay, and the port is 6969. Nice. Alright, don't need this bit here just now. Don't need this either. And this also, we're gonna remove it. Okay. Oh, we don't need you. Did I miss something? No, we don't need any of this. Alright. So once again, we're going to run this async function main asynchronously. So main is going to do what? It's going to first of all create the peer connection. Now in offer we did this over here outside. In here we're doing it inside. It doesn't really matter where you want to do it. For sake of consistency, let's just do it inside. Right? This looks better that way, I guess. So I'm just gonna do it. Let's just do it here, and we'll just do the whole thing here. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So similarly in answer, we're gonna go in here, and once again we'll just put it on the top. There we go. All right. So in answer, we're going to go and create a new peer connection once again. Now this time we're gonna listen for this event. Okay, and this event is going to be happening on the peer connection itself. Okay, in offer it was happening on the channel. Okay, so there's a difference between the two. Okay, so it's going to listen for this event, which is saying which happens when the data channel opens. Okay, so when the data channel opens, then it will say the data channel is created, and it will send a message through that data channel. Okay, so both offer and answer are going to use this data channel to send message. Okay, so this is going to send this message. So this is going to send this message. So it is going to say from offer, and this is going to say from answer. Okay. Sorry, once again. On data channel open, yeah. So it's gonna say hello from offer via data channel, and this is gonna say hello from answer via data channel. Okay. Yeah. All right. So what's next? So in answer, we're going to create the peer connection. Then we're going to listen for a couple of events. Then we're going to okay, so this is the next bit. Okay, so what we're gonna do, so when the answer starts, essentially it's going to listen for any offers. Okay, so which means we should start our offer before we start the answer. Okay, so now I'm gonna need a third instance of Visual Studio. I'm gonna open it again. No, I'm gonna open it from here, and then I'm gonna say add folder to workspace, and once again I'm gonna add the same folder. Okay, there we go. Whew. Right, so let's start our signaling. Okay, now let's start our offer. Okay, it's gonna now send the offer and wait for the answer. Okay, so as you can see, it's now waiting for the answer. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove this breakpoint and just put it here, so it will come over here once it's got an answer. Okay, otherwise it's just gonna keep on waiting. We don't need this guy. Or actually, we'll put it here, so when the answer is ready, it's going to hit this point. Okay, so sorry, it's gonna hit this point. So there we go. So now they are just talking to each other. So they're signaling and offer, they're talking to each other. So the offer is continuously polling the server to see if it's got an answer. So if we look at the messages in here, as you can see, it says answer is not ready because we haven't created an answer yet. Whew. Okay, so now let's go to the answerer. So what we need to do now, we need to start this. So let's put some breakpoints. Let's run it. Okay, so we go over each line. Alright, so now we're gonna go to the signaling server and see if there's an offer. Okay, so it comes over here, see if there's an offer. Offer is definitely there. Okay, it will be returned to it. There we go. So it's got the offer now. Okay, so now we're gonna get the object. Okay, now what we're gonna do here, we're gonna use the method provided by the library. Okay, so this method here, and we're gonna create a session description variable, okay, using the data that we just received. Alright, so go over that. So it's got a new session description. So now what we're gonna do is gonna set remote description. So if you look at this guy here, you can see both local description and remote descriptions are none. Okay, so you need both in order for the connection to work. So let's add some steps here. Okay, so client 1 creates an offer and sets the local description. Client 2, what does client 2 do? Client 2 sets remote description. Okay, then client 2 sets local description. Okay, and then 3. Actually, because this bit runs before, so the second step is actually going to be create answer. Answer. There you go. So it sets the local description, create an answer, and sets the So sets remote description, creates answer, sets local description. Okay. So let's do that. Okay. So now let's look at the pure connection again. Now, as you can see, it's got local description. Okay, and it's got remote description. Okay, which is good. Now, I'm just gonna show you what the offer looks like. So I'm just gonna stop it using a breakpoint. So anyway, should be fine. Okay, so let's look at the pure connection now. So as you can see, we already set the local description. Okay, and we did this over here. Go away. So we did this here over here, but we haven't set the remote description. Okay, there's none because we are waiting for an answer. So once we got the answer, then we'll do this bit. Okay, so we don't need you. Okay, go back to the answer. There we go. Okay. No, go to the answer. There we go. Okay, so now the answerer is going to create a message and send it to the signaling server. So we create the answer. It looks very similar to what we did in with the offer. So it creates the new object, which has got the ID, which is just answer 1. The type is there, and the STP. So this STP is different from the STP we created offer. Okay, so we're gonna take this object and now send it to the signaling server. Now, as far as the answer is concerned, it doesn't need to do anything else. Okay, it's just going to send the answer back and then wait for the data channel to open. Okay, so let's do that. So now we are back at the signaling server. We just got an answer. We're going to store that answer as well. Now, as you can see, as soon as we did that, we just sent it to the offer as well. Now offer now got the answer. Okay, it's gonna take that answer and set the local description. Okay, so here it sets the local description. Okay, and then voila, there we go. So now, as we can see, we are sending and receiving messages via the data channel. So this is the offerer. Let's look at the answerer, and there you go. Okay, so if you're wondering how is that happening, well, all that's happening here is this bit, okay, which says send pings. So what I did, I said, as soon as the data channel is created, okay, we're gonna start sending pings forever. Okay, so it just sends it. Okay, and we did the same thing for the offerer. So we said, as soon as the data channel is open, okay, start sending pings, and that's what it's doing now. Okay, so wasn't that difficult, was it? No. All right, let's stop the whole thing now. Perfect. Okay, so we have successfully done this bit. So we created 2 clients and we done the signaling server as well. So this is it for today. Stay tuned for the next video, and where we're gonna go a bit further. We're gonna put the whole thing on AWS. Okay, we also will bring in this guy, but we'll have to if you want to talk across the internet. Okay, because remember, at the moment we can only talk to clients that are connected to this Wi-Fi network. Okay, so if I was try to talk to someone across the internet, it's not gonna work. Okay, but baby steps. So yeah, if you have any questions, yeah, put them in comments, and yeah, that's it. Stay tuned.